WhiteBulls Barbecue. The best damn barbecue ever.
Welcome back, subscribers. Chris from WhiteBulls Barbecue, and today I'm going to show you how to make brisket queso. You heard right. So let's show you what you're going to need for this. We'll get some onions chopped, we'll get some tomatoes chopped, and we'll start making this queso in a cast iron on our Traeger Ironwood 885. Let's do the damn thing. Hit that like and subscribe. You know the deal by now. Let's go. We have our tomato, our red onion, and our jalapeno. We're gonna add that right in. And you'll hear them start to simmer. Kind of remove all these from each other so they can start to break down. So we're letting that roll at 250. And the last step, you hit it with just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. That's plenty. All right, we'll give that about 15 minutes and we'll come back to chop it up, stir it, and let it break down about another 15 minutes before we start adding more ingredients. All right, guys, so it's been about 15 minutes. Time to start chopping that up. Letting it break down even more. Let's do it. Inside, I got a pound of brisket. That was cold, it was left over. You could use fresh brisket, but a pound of brisket, diced it up, nice and fine, but not too fine. You want some kind of texture. And then I chopped up 8 ounces of mild cheddar cheese and 8 ounces of sharp white cheddar cheese. And they're both about to go in here, and it's gonna be delicious. We'll be back in about 15 minutes to add the brisket and the cheese. Let's go. All right, guys, so this is the half-hour point. We're rolling at 250. We're gonna crank it to 275. We're gonna add in 8 ounces of yellow cheddar and 8 ounces of white cheddar. Just kind of chunked up, fresh blocks. Then we're gonna add a pound, count it, a pound, easily, maybe a pound and a half of prime USDA brisket from yesterday. You see I cubed it up. Let's get it. Now you want to start incorporating that in. Mix it around. This queso will not be for the faint of heart. Not even a little bit. Try to incorporate it pretty well. Bring some of that tomato from the bottom up top. Try to mix that in. We're gonna give this 15 minutes at 275, and we'll be back to mix it around again. So that'll take us to 45 minutes, and then after that, another 15 minutes, and we're gonna incorporate the last ingredients, guys. So we'll see you in 15 minutes. Remember, at this stage, we've kicked it to 275. Let's go. It's the 45-minute mark. Wow. Once you have that mixed up, we're going to take 12 ounces of salt-free tomato sauce. Now with over a pound of brisket, this is going to allow for, you know, it to loosen up the thickness of this. And then of course, just to make sure it all comes together, we got salsa con queso from Tostitos. Everybody knows this. The entire thing. And we're gonna mix that up. All right, incorporate that for about 2 minutes. And then we're gonna close this up. It's rolling at 275. We'll be back in 15 minutes. We're just gonna let that roll. It's gonna simmer up, and watch this. So about a half hour rocking at 275. And there you go. That is your end result. We're gonna give it a mix just to be sure. Oh. The smell on this is absolutely incredible. Here's a chunk of brisket for you. Wow. I'm gonna kick this down to 225 for 15 minutes, let it settle down, and it's time to dig in. Alright guys, so this is about an hour at 225. All in all, about 2.5 hour cook. Look at that. You can straight up see chunks of brisket just laying about. You can tell that it's thickened up. And now I'm gonna actually give you guys a little pro tip here. Shut down your Traeger. Leave that in there for at least that 15 minutes. It's shutting down. And then it's time to put some chips in there. I'll give you guys a conclusion shot. Let this cool down a little bit and settle. We're gonna have some amazing queso. Hope you guys love this video. Like and subscribe. Look at this. Alright, barbecue fam. So all in all, about 2.5, 3 hour cook. For the first half hour, 45 minutes, we were breaking down the jalapeno, the onion, and the tomato. Then we added in a pound of cheese, half of it white sharp cheddar, the other half mild yellow. And we added in about a pound to a pound and a half of brisket, prime USDA. Then we finally added in Tostitos queso, 1 jar, and we also added in a jar of tomato sauce, about 12 ounces. So this is your final product. This is about 15-minute rest so the cheese can resettle. We just come and hit it with some fresh scallions. Nothing wrong with some fresh chopped scallions. That is my nice final touch on this. I think it's just gonna add a little pop of flavor on top. And yeah, I cannot wait to dig in. This is about, like I said, a 2.5, 3 hour process. If you just stay the course, this could be yours too. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm gonna get a chip in there and then I'll get you on your way. Hit that like and subscribe. I am super excited for this. Look at this. Alright, barbecue fan. So, all in all, about a 3 hour cook. Took about an hour to break down all the tomato, the onion, and the jalapeno. I wanted them to kind of simmer in light olive oil. Gave that about an hour. Then I added brisket and a pound of cheese, half a pound of white cheddar sharp, a half a pound of mild cheddar yellow. Then we gave that about a half hour at 275, maybe 45 minutes. And then we kicked it down to 225 after we incorporated the tomato sauce and a little bit of tostito queso right out the can to give it a little more, I guess a little looser. It wouldn't be as thick because there's a lot of brisket in there and we wanted to preserve that. So here's your final result after you give it about a half hour, 225 to kind of set in. You let it rest for about 15 minutes. And yeah, so enough about talking. Time to eat. Get me a chunk of brisket for sure. Ooh. Unreal. Unreal. Wow. So much so I just want to go for seconds. It's chunky. Oh. Wow. The flavor's out of this world. The jalapeno still has some bite to it. It's nice and full because of the tomatoes. The brisket's just falling apart. Has a nice tang to it. And a little scallion on the end of it. Never a bad thing. I'm going to give you guys a close-up. And I will see you next time. Hit that like and subscribe. And let me know what you'd like to see next. The best damn barbecue ever.